All right, everyone. So I apologize. I had to end the other episode a little abruptly. So let me kind of pick up where I left off. I was talking to you all about how to support yourself and loved ones during um, times of grief, during the holidays, during times of grief. Excuse me, during holidays, during the times of grief, but really just during times of grief because they don't just come at the holidays, but we're in the middle of the holiday season. So you want to make sure that you are self-aware. What is self-awareness? Just what it sounds like. It's being aware of self, being aware of emotions, feelings, triggers, etc. How do we develop self-awareness? Therapy is a big tool, prayer, meditation, um, spending time doing the work on you. We hear people use that term a lot. The work on you can look like, I'm a big proponent for therapy and counseling. It can look like getting deeper connected into your spiritual practices. So for me, I'm a Christian, praying, getting more in tune with God. So whatever your practice, your spiritual practices look like, it can that can be a way to help you with self-awareness. Because, like, for instance, if we're talking about prayer, you can literally ask God to give you more self-awareness or wisdom, or help you to be more in tune with yourself. And then just having trusted people around you that can point things out and can notice things, and they can call things out to you in love, and you can, receive it from them. So you want to be very self-aware, be aware of what triggers you, learn what triggers you, because you may not always know. So learn like what triggers you. And when you learn the things that do trigger, and it could trigger sadness, could trigger happiness, anger, make notes of that. So whether that's writing notes physically or making mental notes, whatever works best for you to retain it, because what you need to do or want to make sure you do with that information is that you use it to your you utilize it, use it to your advantage. So if this is something that makes you happy, maybe indulge in a little bit more, not overindulge, but act accordingly. And if this is something, if you're engaging in behaviors during the holiday season that promote you to be sad, then maybe we need to limit those activities and behaviors. Surrounding yourself with supports, so friends, community, accountability, because grief can sneak up on you. Grief is one thing that I will say about grief is that it shows you that you are not in control. No matter what your beliefs are on who or what is in control, grief shows you that you are not in control. So you have to have a support system, people that can, hold you accountable. You can't be an island out here. Somebody has to be able to see you, see into you, and just give you, point out things, that they may notice that maybe you're not noticing, that can be helpful for you along this journey. You really want to make sure that you're not pushing down your feelings. And that can be challenging. Sometimes some personality types are more so wired to not feel, or not feel, but push down and ignore and avoid what they feel. And some upbringings are also the same way, or make more conducive to that. You may be more conducive to that based on how you were brought up in your different life experiences. So you definitely want to make sure that you are not pushing down your feelings. And if you need help with that, because grieving healthy, there's not one size that fits everyone. But a good way to get help with that is working with a licensed clinical mental health counselor, a therapist, somebody that is qualified, because counselors and therapists are qualified to help you walk through grief and help you to even identify feelings that you have that may be buried deep inside. Some things that you have pushed down. They're a biased party because they're not a friend, they're not a family member. Ethically, they should not be a family member or a friend. And they can point out, they don't have a dog in the fight, so they can point out things from from an unbiased standpoint. And so we talked about self-awareness, community. Put yourself in environments that are promoting you grieving healthy. So you want to surround yourself with people that promote you to grieve in a healthy way. You want to surround yourself with people that encourage you, that it's okay that you're feeling the way you're feeling about this loss. And in the same sentence, okay, we're not going to let you stay down too long. It's okay to feel down. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel a spectrum of emotions, but if any of them becomes out of balance and can be identified as potentially out of balance or unhealthy, I'm going to point you in the direction of, excuse me, my eyes are starting to itch. I'm going to point you in the direction of someone that can assist. So I really hope so again, thank you to everyone for tuning in and listening. And I really hope that as we're in the holiday season, everyone is taking care of themselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, because all those things even work together too with the grief experience. So I really hope that you all are taking care of yourselves, that you know that it's okay if you're grieving. It is okay to not want to do the things that you normally wanted to do. It's okay to want to change up traditions. It's okay to feel those feelings of grief. The biggest thing is we want to make sure that we are healthy in all of our emotions. It's okay to connect with a therapist, a counselor, utilize EAP, employee assistance programs, so you can get resources that you need at reasonable rates. Different websites where you can find therapists that even specialize in grief. There's a such thing as what is it called? So say grief recovery. Gosh, I actually went through this. Don't mind it. I don't mind disclosing that. I'll find some information. I'll try to find the information about that and put that in the notes. But it is great. Great resource if you've experienced grief. I was gonna say it's a little bit different than traditional therapy, but it's some of the same concepts. And I know the person that I went through the experience with was phenomenal. We connected. I felt so seen, and it really helped me because I actually did that and an assistance. In addition to, I had a regular therapist. So I was going through that, and then I went through grief recovery. I think that's the name of it. But I'll put some information in the notes about that as well. So you definitely want to make sure that you are taking care of yourselves going through the holiday season, getting those self-care practices in. If you need help with that, reflect back to episode 2 of season 1 where I talk about self-care. And because everything connects. So the physical, the mental, the spiritual, the emotional, it all connects, and you want to be well holistic. And the healthier that we are, the more we are leaning towards wholeness on I would say the spectrum or the gram or the graph of being a whole and healthy person. Because we'll constantly be healing from things, but when we are a whole person, we're healing and becoming more and more healthy. It helps us to grieve well as well. All right, because grief is never easy, but it is always possible to obtain healing and go through healthy grieving if we're willing to do what we need to do, submit to the process, and trust it, even when it's a little ugly, because it's not always pretty. All right. So yes, if you're not following me, please follow me at _ Let's Talk Wellness. My Instagram is _ Let's Talk Podcast KN. That's _ at _ Let's Talk Podcast. K as in Kimberly, N as in Nicole. And this will all be in the show notes. So until next episode, peace out.